This morning, I was dropping absolute bombs on my buddy on the basketball court when I found out, got a text message from Noah Cole when he said the big one's happening right now. I was like, oh no, what do you mean the big one? He said, turn on Sky News right now. I dropped the basketball. I literally turned on Sky News on my goddamn phone, and I saw the Tel Aviv sky lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree, and it's hitting. It's hitting. Like, they're hitting targets, brother. Shit is not all right. Israel is currently experiencing shit that it does to other countries in a much more limited fashion, mind you. So I assume you guys are going to, for the first time ever, see news media coverage that centers the victims of a bombing campaign for once, because it's on the good guys' side. The good guys are the ones receiving the bombing from the perspective of Western media. So trust me, they will remember how to cover. They will remember how to cover conflicts. Now, as far as I understand, the Iranian message ahead of time was they're not trying to target civilian targets. They are trying to target military targets. The problem is, you know what? I'll let CNN's Jim Surito explain what the problem is when you're targeting military targets. Let's take a look.
The U.S. intel view that among the targets were Israeli airfields, but also, and this is crucial, the headquarters of Mossad, the international intelligence service of Israel, which is inside Tel Aviv. It's in the northern part of Tel Aviv, but it's in the city. It's in a densely populated area.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Does that mean that Israel's using human shields, brother? Because that's what you taught me. That's what you educated me on, Jim. Jim Sequito. I ain't never seen you wear the vest before. I ain't never seen you wear the helmet before, Jim. You're in Tel Aviv. Why are you wearing the helmet, Jim? So many of his colleagues were assassinated by the Israeli state, dressed up exactly like that, with American bombs, mind you, okay? So it turns out there is no such thing as human shield. And that's something that I understand. And that's something that you need to understand as well. It's just that I actually believe that these scumbags only deploy that when it's Israel that is in the crosshairs of a bombing campaign. Just going to point that out real quick.
And of course, the concern is if you're firing, even though Iran might consider that a military target, it is in a densely populated city with civilians around it. And that's just one more layer of escalation.
Oh, that's an escalation? Wait, so striking military targets that happen to be in densely populated civilian areas is an escalation. Is it an escalation through, is it a de-escalation tactic through escalation? Is Iran de-escalating through escalation right now? Is that what's going on? Or is Iran doing something that is unimaginably cruel and unusual to Israel? I don't know, because like I said, I've only learned from mainstream media. I've only watched mainstream media, so I'm like a little confused. I'm a little confused right now as to why the tone and the coverage is like so dramatically different, because for the past 12 months, that shit was awesome, right? Like, it was sick. Israel was so mighty and so good at what it does. Israel also literally has an Iron Dome. Israel currently has the might of the American military, Jordanian coverage, American coverage, Saudi coverage. They got literally regional partners trying to defend Israel to the best of their ability, and the Iron Dome is getting overwhelmed. Let's see what Al Jazeera is saying.
Sayyid Ali Khamenei, who has the control over the all armed forces, and he has the right to declare war on any other country.
I will warn all of you, don't get callous. Do not think you can post like an Israel defender. You cannot. I'm letting you know right now, you will literally go to prison, okay? Your life, they will end your life. You will go to jail, potentially, for supporting terrorism. It don't work that way. Do not Fed post. Do not Fed post in the chat. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know right now. A lot of you did this. You did this on October 7th, too, and you got. Okay? You will never, you will have to sit there and eat the callous indifference and the cackling hyenas over on the side of defending Israel brigade every damn day as they point to like children in body bags, children in trash bags, and say they deserve it. And if you were to ever say anything even marginally close to that, if you were to ever even celebrate it, you will get branded a terrorist. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know right now. Don't do it. Having said that, however, the hypocrisy is a little bit alarming. I mean, it's thick. It's thick. You know, I'm experiencing things that I didn't think I would. I didn't think I'd be seeing. You know, coverage that I didn't think I'd be watching.
Starting a ground operation, and then this hit today is changed completely the course of event, but is also spoiling Benjamin Netanyahu presented himself as the future leader of the Middle East who's going to punish anyone that attacks Israel.
Elijah, you said Iran was, quote, escalating to de-escalate, which is, you know, it's kind of a strange quote, but it's one we've heard several times in the last few days. And really, the first time we heard it was from Israel, that's what they were trying to do in Lebanon against Hezbollah. The idea of escalate to de-escalate is essentially show your military muscle, show that you're stronger in order to deter your enemy and prevent a bigger war. If everybody's doing the same thing and is adopting the same logic, where's this taking us?
Well, it's all in the hand of Benjamin Netanyahu. He is the one who dictating the tempo. He's the one who's going to war on Lebanon. He's the one who started an all-out war on the Gaza against the civilians, not only Hamas, and then turned against Lebanon, hit Hodeidah, and then went to Iran and assassinated Ismail Haniyeh there. He bombed the Iranian consulate in Damascus. He is the one who is escalating for his personal reason to remain in power. And because he's feeling all this victory, he doesn't feel concerned about stopping the war. On the contrary, he wants to continue. And this is why Iran is saying, I'm going to come
footage
in.
of missiles hitting an airbase, the Nevatim airbase in the Negev. Bro, that's crazy shit, okay? Now, look, they got bunkers, okay? Iran does not have the same munitions that Israel has. Iran is not flying F-15s over targets and directly striking them. Their capabilities are diminished in comparison to what Israel can do to a defenseless area that it occupies, such as the Gaza Strip, or a defenseless country with a paramilitary that is all that remains to defend them, like Lebanon. Okay, Lebanon does not have any anti-air systems in general. That is by design. It's so that Israel can fly over it and destroy it when they want to. This entire situation, and I want everyone to remember this, this entire situation could have been avoided since day one. It could have been avoided from the jump. All it would have required was demanding that Joe Biden do the elder statesman thing, which is reign in Israel. People in his corner told him to do that. People literally told him over and over again, hey, dog, you know how Israel gets, bro? Please tell him to dial it back. He was like, nope. Wow, how about it? Oh, look alive, Jack. I love Israel. I'm a Zionist. Israel can kill as many babies as it wants, Jack. Look alive. Here's the facts. I'm a Zionist. Rein it in. Rein it in. I was like, rein it in. Rein Israel in. Please, rein Israel in. I even said, listen, if you're a bloodless, monstrous, sociopathic piece of shit, but you still care about at least like retaining power, at least if you care about the Democratic Party winning the election, don't leave Netanyahu with a fat arsenal of weapons and a willingness to do the bidding of Donald Trump, because he's in the tank for Donald Trump. He's going to go to war with Lebanon. He's going to invade Lebanon. Everyone's like, Hasan, you're being ridiculous. Hasan, you're being crazy. Where are we now? I said it for months. I just know a little bit about the way Israel behaves. That's it. I've just done a little bit of reading. That's it, like a minor amount. If you are even remotely interested in the history of the region, you arrive at this conclusion on your own. Dude, they've been doing this. They've been doing this for 76 years. Regional actors have basically designed their entire existence around maintaining a defensive posture, maintaining a deterrent strategy, and developing an arsenal specifically to combat this kind of thing that Israel does on a regular basis. And since October 7, Israel's been doing infinitely worse shit that Tel Aviv is receiving currently every goddamn day. I mean, I'm sorry. This isn't normal. Every single one of these rockets is meant to kill. Yeah, no shit, dude. That's what rockets do, dumbass. That's what your rockets do to the fucking Palestinians. Like, get the fuck out of here. What are we doing? Never seen the Iron Dome like this. Iran built different. I've never seen a total failure of Israeli interceptors like this. Completely ineffective against Iranian missiles with a point of comedy. It is insane, brother. Of course. What the fuck were they thinking? What were they thinking? Also, this is the most Israel thing to do, okay? There is nothing more Israel to be like, oh shit, we're getting bombed in a way that we never have. What to do? Oh, it's time to host like a goddamn teenager. Dude, what are you doing? This is the national account of the state, okay, of an apartheid state that is currently conducting a genocide, okay? And they're posting like an anxiety-ridden teenager, like, this isn't normal. What are you doing, bro? Stop normalizing this problematic behaviors of missiles, a threat. Is this the start of World War III? I don't think so, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay? I'll be honest, it is unique to Iran to do this. Okay? Like it was already unceremonious and out of pocket for Iran to even retaliate against Israel at all, but that was a managed retaliation. That was genuinely a previously communicated retaliation, and they struck like one military base overall. They didn't deploy shit. They told what they were going to do ahead of time. Like they gave literally like a week's notice or some shit. This time is different. It's a little different. It kind of caught everybody by surprise. They still gave forewarning, but the forewarning was significantly shorter, right? And I don't know. What is Pat Bev doing over there? I don't know. But if I'm Pat Bev, I'm getting the fuck out. Don't worry. America will give you a flight out. Unlike those in Lebanon. If you're in the crosshairs of Israeli bombing, of course, you don't get a flight out there. But if you're in Israel, don't worry. America will find a way to transport your ass out of there and back into safe territory. You know, Pat Bev is cooked. Israel just promised to retaliate. Yeah, I know. They did. They warned. This morning, they warned. Senior Iranian official said the U.S. was alerted by Iran through diplomatic channels shortly before the attacks. But that was not a long-ass forewarning. That's a little different. This is the message Israelis across Jerusalem are receiving right now. Imagine living like this. Dude, bro, are you serious? Are you serious? Imagine living like this? Yeah, dude. That's how Palestinians live every day. They don't even have the home front command. They just eat it. They don't have bomb shelters. 12 months of genocide, bro. No way. Turns out bombs killed. That's crazy. I'm actually shocked, brother. That's crazy. You guys are all right. You know, be safe. Americans just have an unfortunate appetite for death and destruction when stuff like this happens. Here, let's hear what they have to say now. A lot of decisions to be made right now by Israeli government officials. We have much more ahead. Our special coverage of the Iranian attack on Israel continues. Still in occupation. When Israel controls the land borders and controls pretty much every aspect of life in Gaza, this is still considered under international law an occupation. Like, this has been adjudicated in the world's top court, and Israel lost that one. Gaza is an occupation. Yeah, it's true. Okay, you said that, and the court said that. We're still facing Hamas in Gaza, which its charter, by the way, like the charter of Hezbollah. Bro, this dude is, go to the bomb shelter, dog. Go to the bomb shelter. What do you mean, Hezbollah and Hamas? Bro, you are unserious. Can I ask you about regional conflict? Like, yo, remember the 1988 charter of Hamas? Iran in a direct war. And
And do you think that he's trying to precipitate regime change in Iran based on his comments yesterday, ostensibly addressed to Iranians? Let me see if I can find the exact quote. When Iran is finally free, and that moment will come a lot sooner than people think.
Among the targets were Israeli airfields, but also, and this is crucial, the headquarters of Mossad, the
Oh, sorry.
First of all, like Akiva, I'm not a big fan of Netanyahu. So,
oh yeah, he hates Netanyahu, but he also
think, yes,
obviously
he wants somehow to get that Iran doesn't become nuclear power, and he knows that he needs America for this. So yes, he has something in the back of his mind that if this is an opportunity to involve America, he would push for it. As for regime change, I don't think Israelis should be involved in any speculations and ideas. We tried it in Lebanon back in 1982, and we failed. And I think Israel should talk about the regime change in Israel itself, not elsewhere.
Uri Dromi, founding director general of Jerusalem Press Club, retired colonel in the Israeli Air Force. Thank you very much for joining us on Al Jazeera.
Oh, Israel gave the all clear about an hour ago. The attacks are over. Oh, I thought they were still blowing. I thought they were still going in. I just saw a live connection to Tel Aviv. They're already back to normal. It's crazy. So we don't have a final assessment. I didn't realize. I thought it was still going on. I don't have a final assessment of what's happening. No, this is live. Al Jazeera is live right now. It's just that the attacks are from earlier. They're just showing the wave of attacks from earlier. Okay. You think the recent escalation with Lebanon now and now Iran was Bibi coaxing attacks to boost his approval? Benjamin Netanyahu has wanted a war with Iran for most of his life. Okay. This is the reason why he was heavily against the Iran denuclearization agreement, because he was terrified of the prospect of normalizing relationship with Iran. That's why he kept mercilessly and relentlessly attacking the Obama administration for its signature accomplishment on that front. That's part of the reason why he loved Donald Trump. IDF has announced, as far as I understand, they've announced that they're like going to retaliate. But the thing is, here's the issue. Okay, they already have been. Yesterday they bombed Damascus and Lebanon. Like they already have been nonstop attacking. The only difference in this circumstance is they'll probably attack Iran. And I don't know if they'll actually attack Iran with even more weapons than prior. And I don't know what that looks like. This is unique territory overall. This is new territory overall. It's not unique in the sense that like Israelis have been literally begging to nuke Tehran for quite a while. Okay. But Israel already bombed Yemen yesterday. They bombed Damascus. They bombed Lebanon. They've been bombing Lebanon. The only difference is now they'll bomb Iran again. Yeah, word I got is that this will be like the April attacks. Israel will retaliate by attacking Hezbollah in Lebanon, not Iran, and Iran will use it to posture to the Arab world that they can do something, but not expected anything else to happen like April. We'll see. The difference in this circumstance of the Iranian retaliation was the lack of prior knowledge of the retaliation. Like they only revealed that they were going to retaliate. They only revealed that they were going to retaliate right before they actually launched their missiles. Last time, they gave like 7 days of warning. They telegraphed it. They were like, hey, we're going to come. We're going to retaliate. We're going to retaliate. If Israel doesn't do something about it, we're going to retaliate. We have a right to defend our sovereignty. This time, it was relatively quick. BM is posting throughout the Middle East. What a bunch of psychos. The IDF after the Iranian attack, the Air Force will attack strongly tonight throughout the Middle East. We'll see. Al Jazeera correspondent in Tehran is saying there will be another wave of attacks. All of this stuff was telegraphed from the jump. It was telegraphed from the jump. It's not like we didn't know this was going to happen. Of course we knew this was going to happen. And for the record, what Israel will do, I suspect, when they say they're going to retaliate, is probably kill a bunch of Gazan civilians, okay, as they have been. They haven't really stopped. They killed like 34 the other day. It's just that the attention has shifted over to the Lebanese civilians that they're killing by the hundreds, right, in Beirut. So that's probably what they're going to do. They're going to pummel civilians. They're going to punish civilians as hard as they possibly can, because they only have one speed. They only know to do one thing, and that's kill civilians. Will this inevitably cause Israel to implode on itself? I mean, all of these things actually hurt the psyche of the Israeli citizens, because Israel only responds to violence, okay? Israel only backs away when they are forced to back away through violent retaliation. I think there was a terror attack as well. Like there was I think like a shooting attack inside of Israel as well. And I don't know if it was in coordination. It probably was in coordination with the bombings. Ultimately, what's going to happen is because Israel only responds to force with more escalation, but only backs away when they fear that there are real repercussions for Israel. Okay, that's what they've educated the entire region on. So that's why these things are happening. Inevitably, they can only get away with this. They can only get away with like further and further escalating when they have this security, when they have the Iron Dome, when they have the confidence that like the regional actors, no matter how they retaliate, Israel will be able to protect its citizens. It will be able to protect its civilians, right? When that security veneer, when that mentality goes away, when normal Israeli society starts fearing that there is retaliation for all of the dangerous escalations, the calculation changes dramatically. Because remember, Israel is within the sphere of Western influence. It is like a Western country in the Middle East. So people go to work, people have marketing jobs. Projectiles were intercepted over Jerusalem Tuesday evening as Iran said it fired dozens of missiles into Israel's retaliation for killings of leaders of Hezbollah and Hamas. Air raid sirens are sounding across Israel. Do you think an invasion of Iran's airspace is possible and likely retaliation? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, but you have to remember, Israel will be notoriously private about like what targets actually got hit. I don't think that they will. I do not think that they will be open about if like their military hardware was destroyed. Like they're not going to say that. They do not want any of the regional actors aligned against Israel to score a W in this situation. They do not want, even if there are, like, obviously if Israeli civilians died, we'll know about it. That they can't hide that. But if the attacks are directed at military targets, as the Iranians claim they were, and they specifically destroyed military hardware, Israel probably will not reveal that information at all. They don't want people to know that Israel is not this like infallible and impossible to penetrate security barrier is actually not impossible to penetrate. Israel's Channel 12, 8 killed in the Jaffa shooting. Israeli police say one of the attackers has also been killed. Yeah, there was a shooting at a train stop in Jaffa. Israel has resulted in multiple casualties. Initial reports indicate several people were wounded, with some in critical condition. According to the Israeli Broadcasting Authority, 4 people have been killed in the attack. I think Daniel Hagari also said that like you shouldn't show any videos of any attacks. Don't show the videos. Very graphic. I'm not going to show the videos. To be honest, I think we could be next. I don't know what part of the world you're in. If you're in Iran, or if you're in Lebanon, or if you are in America, I don't know. Is this also de-escalation by escalation? No, this is retaliation. What do you mean? Oh, in America? Yeah, I mean, maybe, probably not though. I think most of the regional actors are too busy with their own backyard at this moment to focus their crosshairs on the United States of America. Iran's legal, rational, and legitimate response to the terrorist acts of the Zionist regime, which involved targeting Iranian nationals and interests and infringing upon the national sovereignty of the Islamic Republic of Iran, has been duly carried out. Should the Zionist regime dare to respond or commit further acts of malevolence, a subsequent and crushing response will ensue. Regional states and the Zionist supporters are advised to part ways with the regime. They're doing the same thing that Benjamin Netanyahu said yesterday. They're like, hey, we don't want war with you, the Israeli people, but your government is the reason. BBC and ABC are saying unprovoked attack on Israel. Of course they're saying that, dude. The only attacks that are provoked are dude, Israel gets to listen. You have to understand, Israel gets to attack everybody, and that's always righteous. And if Israel ever gets countered or retaliated upon, it's unprovoked. Please understand.
Hear that Hamas wasn't really on board with this ceasefire, but also sources have told me that there were moments where Netanyahu also changed the parameters of what he wanted there. And I think the really big challenge has been, as one Middle East source told me, you as the negotiating party cannot want this ceasefire more than the parties on the ground involved. And that's where I think the struggle has been for Biden. This White House has wanted an end to the conflict, but it's not clear that the parties involved wanted it as much as Biden.
Asma, thank you. Jay O'Brien's at the White House for us today. So I guess two questions for you, Jay, as we're getting a number of leaders from the Hill weighing in on what's happening overseas. We do know that the president was in the sit room, the vice president right next to him, monitoring what was happening as Iran was launching those missiles. Do we know what exactly he is doing now? And is he also in a wait-and-see mode, waiting to see what Israel is going to do? Or do you think he'll get a heads up from Benjamin Netanyahu as to what may happen next?
Well, a number of different things to unpack in that. Firstly, I can tell you that when the president and the vice president were in the situation, it was largely White House officials say to coordinate the defensive response. The U.S.
the wider market is down today.
In trying to shoot down some of these missiles and succeeding in shooting down some of these missiles. Exactly how many the Israelis were able to intercept versus the U.S. and potentially other allies shooting down is very much unclear. But we know that that was what the president and the vice president were monitoring there. The defensive ability by U.S. military assets to shoot down some of these missiles in participation, of course, in defending their Israeli partners. We also know that senior White House officials telegraphed that there would be, quote, severe consequences for Iran if there was a direct strike of this nature at Israel. Exactly what severe consequences look like is still very much unclear. As you said, the White House is somewhat in a wait-and-see pattern. They are obviously in close touch with Israel because they were participating.
Bro, they're about to know why we don't have free healthcare. I know, man. Yeah, you're right.
Will the White House get a heads
totally.
up as to any
just
kind
like
of
the Ansar Allah administration in Yemen found out, right?
That is a strike on that building that they
That's
said
an
was
own on you,
Hezbollah
dog.
Headquarters.
That is an own on you and all of us. You understand that, right? Like the idea that like we don't have healthcare, is that an acceptable trade-off? Are you insane? Why are you openly saying that and you're championing it? That originated that statement originated as a angry thing. Like people used to say that as like, how fucked up is it that we don't have healthcare because we're just like always funding more missiles? Can't tell a joke. It's got to be a joke. Okay, first of all, you can joke about this. I'm just saying that like a lot of people don't make that as a joke in the sense that a lot of people that say that nowadays are saying that as an own, where they're like, no, dude, it's sick. Like we don't have healthcare, and that's the reason why we get to blow up everybody. Like, and it still doesn't work. You know what I mean? FEMA needs $9 billion, yet we send another $9 billion in shipments to Israel. Yes, dude. Are you anti-Semitic? Are you anti-Semitic, sir? Of course. Excuse me. We need to deploy the National Guard.